Hi, everybody. So glad to see all of you all again. I'd like to welcome you to this webinar today. And knowing that it is Women's Week and Women's Month, we can call it Women's Month as well. We have a special webinar planned for you and something even more special planned for you from Pluxee. I'm sure most of our consumers, most of our women consumers might be getting communication from our team on this very special gift we've been giving out over the last week since Women's Day. Today is the last day, and I want to introduce that to you. Just give me a moment. Yes, I want to introduce you to Pluxee Pro. I hope you are able to see my screen. If you're able to hear me and see my screen, please write in the chat box if you're able to see. Are you able to see my screen? So Pluxee Pro, I'm going to take the opportunity and quickly begin. Pluxee Pro is a one of its kind program that we have begun just this year for all our meal consumers. It's done for the first time in India, and it's a really great membership that you can apply for. Now, especially for women this year, okay, let me just tell you what Pluxee Pro is first. There are multiple offers that are available for you in this membership, right? Now, there are offers on meal, there are offers on non-meal. You can see the offers on my screen. There are meal offers. Through meal offers, you can save up to 1,800, within a period of about 6 months. Using these offers, you can save over 1,800 rupees just with meal, and with the other non-meal offers like Dine Out, like Ghana, Ixigo, you can save about 3,200 rupees. So an overall saving of 5,000 rupees. This program comes at a cost of 99 rupees, but just for women this month. And today is the last day. We've been doing this for over a week now, so I thought that it'll be great to introduce it to you guys as well. Just for today, it is available just for 1 rupee. So I'll be putting a link in the chat for you. Just wanted to do this before the webinar so that you can also get this ready. I don't want to I don't want to disturb you before the web before Aditi starts. At 1 rupee, I'll be putting the link in the chat box. You can visit the link. If you're finding any difficulty, you can write back to me in the chat and we will address your issue regarding this. With that, I want to end this and I want to begin to introduce Aditi. Just give me a minute. I hope the presentation is gone. And you can see me now. Yes, great. So now finally, welcome to the webinar, and I'm glad that so many of you have joined. I see many women who've joined this webinar. I want to introduce the person who's going to take you through, make you understand what financial well-being for women should look like, what you should aim to do. Help me introduce Aditi. If you've been with us before, if you've done one of our webinars before, this is the third time Aditi is coming for Pluxee and doing this webinar for us. We've had great response in the past. Aditi is a SEBI registered investment advisor and the director at Swayam Advisories Limited. In her entire journey, she has financially empowered over 15,000 individuals across India and the globe, and she envisions to contribute to the society by enhancing financial awareness in India. That's really great. It's a great opportunity to learn from Aditi. Away from office, you can find Aditi cooking, cleaning, reading, binging. She's just like all of us. And she wants you to meet your financial goals, plan your financial goals well. And I leave the session now to you, Aditi. I hope I've done justice to your introduction. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Shruti, and thanks to Pluxee for the amazing offer, and also to providing me this wonderful opportunity once again to address beautiful ladies out here. So first of all, belated happy International Women's Day to all of you wonderful women who could join us today. And we will start with understanding more about women and finance in the seminar today. I will request to share the screen, please. We are not able to yet see the screen.
You may need to go to the presentation, Jagdish.
Please request to go to the presentation slide. We are not able to see that.
Just give us a minute. We're just figuring this out.
Sure.
In the meantime,
we can start the discussion meanwhile while the presentation is getting on, right? Shruti, shall we start?
Sure, definitely. Please begin.
All right. Okay. So let's discuss this. Okay. Goddess Annapurna. She is the giver of food and nourishment. And for centuries, Indian culture has celebrated, accepted, and acknowledged the same. Till today, women leads the household. When it comes to food or nourishment or nurturing of the family members and the kids, women takes the lead role even today, right? Which brings me to a lot of barriers that women usually faces. So next slide, please. Next, please. So what are the barriers that women faces because of this, right? Next, please. So uneducated is one thing, right? But with Modi ji coming in and saying "Padhega India, tabhi to badhega India," and all of these equality being around for decades now, even men as well as women are both getting equal opportunity to education, right? But when it comes to employment, often than not, we have seen that women leave their career behind to take care of their domestic duties or take care of their family. And so therefore, this has been a barrier. Yes, we have been able to overcome that big time, but at the same time, there are a lot of women who still struggles when it comes to them following their passion, right? And again, dynamic personal environment for women more than men. You know, we get married and life changes. We might relocate. We have to search for another job. And if we try to have a baby, we will definitely have to take a sabbatical. And that basically takes again a hit or setback in our career. So with all of these things, still all these beautiful women joining here today makes us feel proud and makes us look back and think that we have really achieved and come so far, right? Now let's come to another topic, which is Goddess Lakshmi, an epitome of wealth and prosperity. And for centuries, Indian households have treated women of their house as a Lakshmi, right? We have seen so many modern uh, inculcation in families in India, right? But when it comes to pay, we still feel that there is a little bit of a biasness when it comes to gender, and we should get paid as far as merit is concerned and not by gender. And we are curbing that, but we are still a long way. We have still a long way to go, right? But the most what matters to me when it comes to me being an advisor is the lack of financial decision making. Women always takes a back seat when it comes to personal finance or discussion of any sort of a financial matter. Often we see women do not make their decisions on their own, right? And next slide, please. So for us, empowerment is just not about having a good career or having a good lifestyle or planning for goals. For me, redefining empowerment to be financially empowered is the in thing. We should plan and be financially empowered, and that's the new empowerment that women should be looking out for. And so here we look at three basic concepts that we should inculcate in our daily lives. The first is financial awareness. So a little bit of an awareness can lead us to a little bit of confidence, and that confidence itself can lead us to making investments, starting up with investments, learning those jargons, and then the complex scenario or this complex world of finance will suddenly start to become simplified for us. So financial awareness is the first step to being financially empowered. So start learning a bit about all of these concepts and start investing a little bit by your own. And it is never a wrong thing to seek guidance. So that's what we say. If you are starting off, you can take help of your spouse, you can take help of your friends, you can take help of any of your trusted advisor. But we're not saying seeking guidance is wrong. You should definitely seek guidance. You should definitely go out and take second opinion, but you should have that basic awareness of investments and personal finance so that you are a little bit more confident when it comes to finance matters as you are when it comes to anything which relates to your kitchen or when it comes to your career, right? So, and to do all of this, we feel it's very important to take some bit of ownership. So something as simple as you attending a meeting which involves financial decision making. We have seen that often women would avoid having or sitting during meetings which involves financial discussion, maybe because of hesitation or complexity that involves personal finance, or just because she has some other priority which is more important for her than financial matters, right? So we feel a little bit of ownership here is important. Financial stability is as important for a woman as for men. And so therefore, starting with taking that bit of an active participation can really make a little bit of a difference in all of our lives. Next slide, please. Right. Why do we save? Because when we save, that little money of ours is the best protector when we face any sort of an emergency or there is an unexpected situation that we come across. That little money of ours that we have saved, and during demonetization, we all have seen it. Women really save it well, but we have to optimize it well also. So that's what we're going to discuss today. You all today who have joined, you all are great savers. We know how to save money. We know how to run our careers and our lifestyle and our households. We also need to see how we can really make money work for us better than we are doing right now. And that's what we will be discussing in the coming sections. Next, please. Right. So let's talk a little bit about financial wellness and what is this concept actually? Yes.
If we may take a break of 2 seconds here, because we are getting a lot of questions from all our consumers regarding the offer that Shruti just talked about in the beginning. So I just wanted to answer for all the consumers because this is little important. I'll not take more than 1 minute. So of you who have been trying to register for the Pluxee Pro program, you will see ₹99, but once you click on the check boxes, the TNC, you will get a message saying that you can see ₹99, but ₹1 will only be debited from your meal wallet. And after that step is done, after you entering the OTP, there will be an email sent to your registered email ID saying that ₹1 has been debited. Please wait for another 30 to 40 minutes for the program to be activated for your account. And after that, you log in after an hour and you will be able to see all the offers that we talked about in the beginning of the webinar. Okay. Even then, if you are facing any issue, please enter your mobile name, your email ID, and your name in the chat box. We'll take count of it and we will reach out to you after this session is over. Please be rest assured, all the female employees, all of you will undoubtedly get this offer at rupee 1. And all the male consumers, you can avail it, but you will be getting it at rupee 99. I hope I have answered all the queries. If not, then you can still put it in the chat box and I'll keep answering. That should be all. Thank you so much, Aditi. You can take over now.
No problem. Thank you so much. Right. So we were talking about financial wellness. We're just starting off with it. And financial wellness, is it similar to physical wellness, or we have been hearing so much after COVID, mental or emotional wellness? So yeah, as important as it is for us, which is physical wellness, we know fitness, physical fitness, or when we talk about mental fitness or mental wellness, as equally important is for us financial wellness, right? So when we talk about financial wellness, any stress which involves financial situations or conditions, if you want to really abolish it or if you want to reduce it, you need to start up with a good financial plan, right? So everything needs a plan. If you want to be physically fit, you would want to start doing some active engagement, right? You would want to start jogging or walking. You would plan a little bit of a diet. And similarly, if you're looking out for mental wellness or mental fitness, you would start doing yoga or meditation, or you would start journaling. So everyone would have a way towards the wellness that we're talking about. And similarly, when it comes to financial wellness, it really comes with planning, and it has to be done via financial planning, right? And once you have a financial plan in place and you execute it, you start to execute it one after the other, one step at a time, you will see something which is financial independence or financial freedom that everybody is talking so much about. And when I say financial independence or when I say financial freedom, it does not necessarily mean that we don't have to work after earning that sort of a money or after saving that sort of a money. It means that if you want to take a break, or if you want to follow your passion, or if you want to follow your career after some sort of decision making of a break or a gap, you can really follow that. Or if tomorrow you find an emergency, if you have a broken car, or if you have a medical emergency or situation at your home, you can deal with that well. And that can be assured by a robust financial planning itself, right? So next slide, please. How do you kickstart your financial planning journey is what we will talk about. The first step to anything is getting out of our comfort zone. And we believe that all of these things are so complex that we don't want to put our hands into it. And so therefore, to begin with it, you have to understand that yes, there can be a little bit of an uncomfort in the beginning. And so therefore, getting yourself a trusted advisor can be a good step towards it. You know, there are a lot of jargons and there are so many new instruments and products in the market, and all of those have so many features that often we find ourselves in a very, very clueless spot, right? What we're doing is right or not, and if it will make me make money, or will it end up me losing money? And all of those questions and uncertainties basically make us stop ourselves from jumping into it. So the first step is you have to get out of your comfort zone. You have to know that it is not going to be so much easy, but as you start, it is just not going to be so much difficult as you think. And you can get a trusted advisor. An advisor can help you with a good direction, can help you simplify all those terms and conditions and features that is there in the plan, which looks difficult, but the advisor can really simplify it for you. And my third step would be to start making a budget for your own self. What is your monthly income? What is your monthly expense? And how much should you really save? And when it comes to an ideal savings plan, 50% of your monthly income should go towards expenses. If it is more than 50%, you should not exceed 60%. So ideally speaking, not more than 50% of your monthly income should be going towards expenses. But if it is, it should not be more than 60%. Similarly, almost only 20 to 30% of your monthly income should be going towards EMI or loans. And on that bracket as well, if it is an appreciating asset for which you are paying off the loan, it still makes sense. But if you are spending more than 10 to 15% on a non-appreciating or a depreciating asset from your monthly income, it will be an alarming situation. So for an example, you're buying a laptop, you could have easily done good with, let's say, a 30,000 or a 40,000 of a laptop, but still you want to go ahead and then buy it for a lakh of rupee. If that makes you spend more than 10 to 15% of your monthly income into an EMI, it does not really make sense. Similarly, if you're buying a phone, and if a phone of 50,000 can do well for you, and if you are buying a phone of 1.5 lakhs and end up spending more than 10 to 15% of your monthly income as an EMI, it does not make sense, because all of these gadgets at the end are depreciating assets and are not really going to make your money grow in the coming years, right? So the idea is to make sure that 50% of your income is going towards your expenses, not more than that, 20 to 30% towards EMI, and therefore you are saving a minimum of 20 to 30% for investments. Warren Buffett says that almost you should start with saving first. So for an example, if you're having a lag of income, first you should save the first 30,000. And we will discuss in the coming slides as to where we should save, right? But at least you should start saving 30% of your income, which is 30,000 if your income is a lakh of rupee every month. And then the rest should go towards planning of your expenses and your EMIs. Now, when I talk about expenses, and if your expenses crosses 50,000, you really need to sit and understand if those are critical and necessary expenses, and what are the expenses which are non-critical and non-discretionary. And this way you can really budget it out. So for an example, you're somebody who's spending a lot on shopping. If you make a budget, you will get a clear understanding of how much money you can really save, avoiding unnecessary expenditure. So here, to all the women, I would say that if you are a consumer to a brand, rather than being a consumer, or again, together with being a consumer, also become an investor to that particular product or the company or the brand, right? So what will you do by doing it? You will start making your money grow as that business grow, which has your trust, right? So next slide, please. Right. And now, once you have understood, okay, how much to save and how much to spend, you need to set the base of your financial plan. When I say base, you should at least save 6 months of your monthly expenses in liquid funds. It could be your savings account, it could be FDs, it could be liquid mutual funds, something which is at ease when you need it, any place which is at ease. Not in cash, not preferably in cash, because you are actually depleting your money, or you are reducing the value of your money if you are keeping it in cash, because it is not earning you anything, right? So typically it is good to keep it in FDs or liquid mutual funds. It gives us around 4.5% sort of a return. So 6 months of your expenses should be in liquid fund, and that should act as a base of your financial plan. And now, since we have already made the base, we will talk about the pillars of your financial plan. So a contingency plan is a must. This contingency plan involves two important aspects. One is a medical insurance. So make sure you have medical insurance, whether it is coming from an employer or whether it is your personal Mediclaim, you must have it, and you must have it adequately. So for an example, if you feel at any point that your employer has provided to you a medical cover, but it is not of an adequate sum assured. Let's say if it is only 3 lakhs for 4 family members or 5 lakhs for 4 family members, and you feel like you need more, you can just go ahead and buy a top-up plan for your own self, which will not cost you much, and then you will get another additional coverage of around 5 lakh or 10 lakh, depending on the plan that you would have chosen, and it costs you really less. So it is very reasonable. If you want to plan, if you're somebody who's at 45 or 48, and if you want to plan for your retirement, and then you want to take a personal mediclaim today, so that tomorrow if you get any disease or health issues or illness, it should not happen that you're not able to take a health insurance in the future. So if you're somebody at that age and want to take a personal mediclaim, you should seek advice from your advisor. There are so many plans, and the plan that suits your needs well should be opted for. And so therefore you should take a plan which is in consideration or in line with what you actually need or your family actually needs, right? So that is one. And second is a life cover, right? And when I say life cover, you're the earning member of the family. Your money also is getting linked to some of the goals. It could be your kids' education. It could be your personal passion to purchase something or to invest somewhere, right? So you should have a term plan or a life cover, but along with it, you should make sure that your spouse is also having a life cover if he or she is an earning member of the family. So it is very important to understand that whatever investments we are making, it is based on the premise that we will keep earning and we will keep saving to meet our goals. If something happens to our life untimely, to meet all of those goals or to be living a level of lifestyle that we have, we need some amount of money, and for that we need a term plan. So almost 90% of Indians today are underinsured. So please check how much is the life value, and please take a term insurance accordingly for you as well as for your spouse if both of you are earning member of the family. Now, set defined goals. When I say set defined goals, there's an amazing book which is Psychology of Money, which says that you don't really need to have goals or defined goals for which you are saving your money. You should just keep saving your money for the heck of it. But at the same time, if you want a direction, if you want to basically chalk out why you need this money, and that makes it easier for you to get into the habit of saving or investing, I say this is one of the great way of doing it. You set your goal. Your goal could be car purchase. It could be a two-wheeler purchase. It could be purchasing of a house or renovation of your house. It could be your retirement, which is the ultimate goal. It could be your kids' education, their marriage. There are so many things which can be your goal, right? For a lot of people, vacation itself is a goal. Every 3 years, I want to plan for an international trip, or every 2 years, I want to plan for an international trip. So that itself can be a goal. So prepare a goal, understand what is the current value of the goal, and then start saving for that particular goal. We have often seen that if you are somebody in the age of 25 to 35 years of age, even facts suggest that between 25 to 35, a lot of people are actually taking their home as a goal. So if you want to purchase a home, you want to go ahead with that in the first 10 years. And between 35 and 45, for a lot of earning members, it changes to kids' education, right? So which are the two important things. But if you're just starting off and if you want to take everything together, you can really do that. You can start saving for each of these goals from today itself, right? But saving is not enough. Saving money is not enough. If you're keeping your money in bank account, you are technically reducing the value of money with time. There is a concept which is inflation. We all are aware of. Basically, the cost of goods and services keeps on increasing, right? By 4.5%, 5 or 6%, it is increasing almost on an average by 5.5%, 6%. And so if you're keeping your money in cash, you're actually reducing the value of your goods and services or your money, right? And if you are investing in FDs or debt-oriented products itself, you are actually neither making money nor losing money, because if the inflation is around 6.5%, so is the return on FDs and bank accounts, right? So to be able to make money for you, you need to start investing into places which gives you better return than 6%. So somebody said that there was a network issue. Can you repeat age range of 35 to 45 and 45 to 55 too? We have often seen that between 25 and 35 people have their home as a goal. And between 35 to 45, it is definitely going to be your kids' education. And beyond that, it becomes your retirement. So a lot of people really feel that they are starting late. But even if you really save and invest for a goal for around 10 to 12 years, you can easily meet the goal. The key here is patience and consistency. These are the two prime goals or prime role of an investor. You have to be patient and you have to be consistent in what you're doing, right? And if something goes north, you don't have to really get panicked. Like, markets have fallen down today. And if you're somebody who's thinking of pulling out your money from the markets, probably you are thinking wrong. This is the time when you can put your money, maybe not to a mid or small cap. Maybe you can park money into a large cap, which is more safe segment. But then at this point in time, you should never book losses. So patience is the key when you are an investor. Next slide, please. Right. So let's talk about financial literacy and how can it help us feel more empowered, right? So we have already spoke about the concept of inflation, right? Every year, the cost of goods and services are rising by 5.5%, 6%. And so to be able to make your money really work for you, you have to earn more than 6% on any investments that you're making. Then compounding is a great tool or magical tool that comes to investments. So today you will feel like your money is not growing. Maybe your 1 rupee is only becoming 1.5, or maybe it becomes only 2. You have to wait in the market. You have to stay invested in the market for at least certain period of time for the compounding to actually kick in. And when compounding actually kicks in your portfolio, you will see magical returns coming out of your portfolio, which you would have never imagined, right? So you need to give your portfolio the time to get compounding effect started in your portfolio. Now, children are more influenced by mothers, and everybody knows it. And that's why financial literacy amongst women is so important. While the child spends more time with mother, or if the mother is working, like all of us, probably I feel like they have certain bit of a connection with mother that they share. And if the female member of the family talks about savings and investments, the child in the family will also somehow take those habits. And we've seen from initial career or initial beginning of their career itself, those children of the households are often talking about investments from a very, very early age. So when you as a mother teach your kids about savings or about investments, maybe a little bit about it, and not taking risk a lot, but then just the habit of doing it, it would really help them from the very beginning. And my third point, and it is a very crucial subject, women tend to live longer than men. And this is not the subject we are discussing here. We're discussing the fact that if a woman is not being made aware of the concept of investments, or how to manage it, or how to basically procure or take it back if something happens to the male member of the family, we've seen helpless and cluelessness that hovers around her if something bad happens untimely, right? And so it becomes very important for us to understand today that we should not have so much of dependence on anything and anybody when it comes to finances, and we should be at least so much aware about these concepts and how to manage or how to recover those money from these institutions and these places, that tomorrow if something happens, the money can be put to good use by us for which it was taken today, right? So for that very reason as well, financial literacy is so much important, and I cannot emphasize it more. And also we have seen, women who's having a financial goal, or who's been having some sort of an opinion when it comes to her financial matters, they are thriving more in their career, because they have that sort of a hunger, they have that sort of a vision to be more productive at work, to be more participative or contributive to work, so that they can earn so much that those goals or those dreams are met, right? So financial literacy also helps you build a better career and a more effective career. Next slide, please. Right. So again, redefining empowerment. And here we are going to talk about what are the ways of investing and where you can really invest. And I will take only 5 minutes here. And then next 15 minutes, we will go for question and answer session, wherein I will answer to all of your doubts and queries. So there are multiple asset classes wherein you can invest your money. And let's first talk about real estate as an investment, especially in a city like Mumbai or all of these metropolitan city. Residential real estate has not been really yielding great money when it comes to investment. So if you are buying one property and it is for self-consumption, or if it is a self-occupied property, yes, definitely you should go ahead with it. But if you're looking at real estate as an investment, you should make sure that you are not getting into a debt trap. You're planning your finances well. You are really getting a property with a good builder. We come across so many cases wherein under construction properties are under dispute, and then families face a lot of hassle when it comes to either getting possession or simply getting Okay. Shruti, I hope I am audible. Hello?
You're audible. No problem. I think someone is...
Yeah, someone just got...
I think everyone...
Your voice is also echoing. Mine as well.
Is it better now?
Yeah. Thank you. All right. So when it comes to real estate, you should only look at it as a self-consumption investment. And yes, if you are really looking out for real estate as an investment, you can really go ahead and look at a commercial property, or there are so many fractional real estate investment projects which invests into warehouses, etc., wherein the rental yields are better. It is approximately around 9.5% as compared to residential rental yield of around 3.5%. And there's a lot of hassle when it comes to managing those assets as well. So yeah, that's my view on real estate residential. Now, when I look at equity, you can really start with something as simple as equity mutual funds. Now, when you're taking mutual funds into consideration, you should divide your money well into all of these segments, whether it is large cap or small cap or mid cap, right? So that either of it is falling or getting corrected, you have other segment to basically take care of your overall portfolio's return, right? So you should basically allocate your asset well towards large cap, mid cap, and small cap. Yes, large cap is less riskier, so the return is lesser as compared to mid cap, and mid cap is small cap is the most riskiest, and so therefore you will get a lot of return over there, but you have to make a balance between all of these three. Having said that, Mutual fund is one of the safest instruments when it comes to equity. And if you want to start small, you can start with 2,000, 5,000, and then gradually increase your SIPs. SIPs is one of the wonderful ways to start participating in a mutual fund. Now, if you are somebody who's very opinionated about a particular business and they are listed and you can buy it, you can invest via direct equity or what we call as stocks or shares. You can hold those as well. Now, you need to keep a regular track of your investments there and make sure that whatever you are buying is fundamentally good, right? And then other type of equity investments are PMS and AIF, unlisted equity and international equity. So if you want to know more about this, probably we can do a one-to-one, or you can probably ask during Q&A session. And then when it comes to gold jewelry, we do not consider as an investment. Yes, it is an asset for women, absolutely. But is it an investment in a real sense? No, because whatever value, actually appreciated value you see, we actually end up losing them to making charges. And so therefore, there is no real gain that you can really earn out of your gold jewelries. You can look at financial gold. So there are SGBs, mutual fund golds, and there are gold ETFs, gold Bs. All of these can be purchased, wherein all of these there will be uniformity in prices, and you will find that these gold instruments will give you money over time. Gold also has an inverse relationship with equity. So whenever equity market goes down or there is a recession, you will find gold outperforming and giving you a chance to book really good returns in gold investments. So that's what gold is for you. And when we talk about debt instruments, there are typically two types of debt instruments: fixed income, which is more government oriented programs like EPFs, PPFs, NPS, then Sukanya Samriddhi scheme, and all of those schemes which are debt-oriented, fixed income generating instruments. And you can also look at bonds. It can be government bonds, it can be corporate bonds. So you need to understand the risk. You need to understand that with more returns comes risk, and you need to understand historically how the company has provided for its repayment. And if you see it is completely safe, you can get into debt. It's not like debt is completely risk-free. Yes, debt also has inherent risk, and therefore, whether it is equity or debt or gold, you need to see and study what you're really getting into. And if you want a second opinion, and if you want to really understand what exactly it is, what are the pros, what are the cons, you should reach out to an advisor to seek help and second opinion. Next slide, please. Right, so here I am done. Next slide. To all the participants here, we are pleased to offer your complimentary personal consultancy session. You can save my number. Also, now we will take up questions, and we will be sharing a feedback form on the chat. I have just shared it with all of you, so please make sure you fill in the feedback for us to be better the next time we plan and deliver a seminar with Pluxee. So, Shruti, we will take up questions now.
Yes. So I see a lot of things related to Pluxee Pro. Just one thing I want to mention here, that in case if something if it's not gotten deducted or it will get deducted, don't worry. It only 1 rupee will get deducted from your account. You don't have to worry. In case if something has happened, please leave your name and number in the chat, and we will ensure that it is done for you, for everyone who's writing to us. Now you can write questions regarding the session. I'm going to take one by one question. I think we can take about 4 or 5 questions. We have enough time. The first question, Diti, is time limit to withdraw ELSS tax saver.
So it is 3 years locked in fund. Any ELSS fund, if you're investing in, it takes 3 years to become open-ended. Also, if you are putting money in ELSS fund via SIPs, from the date of investing, again, it is going to be 3 years. So for an example, you invested 1st April and then 1st May. So the money that you've invested on 1st April 2024 will get open-ended or will get opened on 1st of April 2027. And similarly, an SIP in ELSS fund done on 1st May 2024 will get opened on 1st of May 2027. So 3 years from the date of investment, you will have it liquid. You can pull it out.
Okay. I think the same person has asked this question again, but they had also asked for ELSS, small cap fund and large mid cap fund.
Sorry. Okay. So any large cap or mid cap or small cap fund, except for ELSS fund and specifically mentioned closed-ended funds, every fund is open-ended. Shruti, am I audible?
You're audible.
Okay. So every other mutual fund is basically open-ended. Throughout the industry, there is an exit load of 1% if you redeem your money before 365 days, which is 1 year. So there is an exit load of 1% to these funds before 365 days if you redeem or withdraw your money. Also, if you withdraw your money before 365 days, you will have a short-term capital gain of 15% on the capital gains instead of long-term capital gain. So short-term capital gain will be levied if you pull out your money before 1 year. Apart from that, it is all liquid. You put your money today and tomorrow you have an emergency. Within T plus 3 days, your money will come to your bank account.
There's another question by Manali. Is it advisable to withdraw or stop a PPF account for an emergency?
So when it comes to investments, we all link it with certain goal. When we talk about PPF as an investment, people usually put money there for their retirement. It's a lock-in fund for 15 years. And so therefore, when somebody puts money in there, I believe that they are putting it for long term, right? However, if there is an emergency and you really need to pull out money, you can do partial withdrawals from your PPF account. Is it advisable? No, but if you really need the money, you can pull it out.
Thanks, Aditi. One more question. Guys, you can write in your question. This is the most latest question that I'm asking. It's by Paloma. Does it matter in which month of the calendar year we start investment? We start mutual fund investments like PPF investing. Like, does it really matter what time of the month or which time of the year we should be starting any kind of investment? Is her question.
So to answer to this question, it matters and it does not matter. If you are somebody who wants to systematically invest, that's where SIP kick in. Even when it comes to PPF or NPS, you can do a monthly investment so that you are into the habit of doing it and you are not missing out on it. But the whole concept of SIP also holds true when you want to average out the price. So when you are timing your investments and waiting for the market to fall and then invest, you are probably chasing something which might end up being good for you or maybe wrong for you. And therefore, systematically investing your money when it comes to mutual funds or equity makes sense. Especially direct equity, yes, you need to time the market, but mutual funds, no. SIP is a great way to do it. And when it comes to PPFs and all these debt-bearing instruments, it does not really matter at all. And depending on how you want to shell out your money, whether you want to do it monthly or you want to do it lump sum from your bonus or those extra investable surplus, you can plan it out for you. So base is convenience.
Another very interesting question, and I think a lot of us would, want to know this. Let's say this is for someone who's just starting off and is on a salary of about 50 to 60K. what the question is basically, if you have that kind of a salary, which is about 50 to 60K, what are the immediate saving plans that one should go for?
All right. So if let's say you are somebody who's having an income of 60,000 and you have, let's say, 30,000 of an expense, right? And then you are having 30,000, let's say, as an investable surplus, depending on how much income you are making and you really need to save under Section 80C or not. So if you are, let's say, having 6 lakhs of an income, you really don't need to save for Section 80C so much. Probably you can just have new tax regime and you will not have to do that. But still, if you want to save, you should start with mutual funds. For long term, if your employer does not provide you for EPF, you can start with something such as PPF. So there is an equity instrument, which is a mutual fund, and there is a debt instrument, which is PPF. You can also look at your term plan if you are the earning member of the family, or if you have dependents, whether your parents or your kids. You can also go ahead and spend some money on taking a good life cover for yourself. And yeah, so that's the beginning. You should start with mutual funds and PPF, something really basic, easy to understand, and that's how you can really go into complex products like shares and stocks if you do not really understand it, or if you do not have the bandwidth to keep looking at it on a daily or a weekly basis, or if you do not have the expertise simply to begin with it and you don't have an advisor, you can really start on your own with mutual funds, term plan, PPF, NPS.
There's another question. I think we can take about 2 more questions. We have 5 minutes to go. 2 more questions last.
I'm just putting the feedback link, and I just request all the participants to really give us feedback on the link before they leave.
Sure. And you can also take a screenshot of the slide that is there, so that, if you want to contact Aditi privately, you can definitely have an appointment with her and take a personal consult with her. Aditi, the question is 15 years locking for each investment done for the year invested, in case we are doing every year PPF investment for the past 20 years. I'm not really sure what the question means, but what I'm trying to understand is the person is saying 15 years locking period for each investment done for the year invested. In case I'm not really clear on that question.
So since the day you've opened up your account, it is locked in from there for 15 years, and then you can renew it for a block of 5 years again. At the same time, it is not when you are making the investments from there, 15 years is not the lock-in. It is the account that has a lock-in of 15 years.
Last question, I think something to do with gold, that most women would want to know, right? So the question is that if I purchase a gold sovereign bond of I don't know if this year is to 2028 in the year series from stock market, which is going to be matured at 2028. As usually it is 7 years lock-in period. Can I opt for the 2028, or should I always opt for the newly launched gold bond series?
Okay, so whenever there is something that is getting opened in the market when it comes to applying for new issues, I think applying for the new issues itself is going to make sense, right? And that's how it happens. Whenever there is an opening, you should go for that. And at that price, when you enter, from there, 7 years would be your lock-in, and then you will also enjoy the interest benefit quarterly of around 2.5%. And from the date of your investment, when the issue opens, from there, whatever is the appreciation in gold as an asset class, you will be able to enjoy that, right? But yes, there is going to be a lock-in of 7 years. You should apply for it when a new issue opens.
Okay. We have 2 minutes more. If you want to take one more question, is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Last question. How to get right financial advisor on an average budget, which we can keep permanently. I'm assuming how to kind of, the question is how to kind of look for the right advisor. What would you suggest as an advisor? What would you suggest?
So I feel like you should connect with the person. You should understand what his or her idea about investment is, and is it aligning with your goals. You have to see if you're able to build that sort of a comfort and confidence and trust with the advisor. And if that is there, and you can actually wait and check for a couple of advice as well before handing over the entire thing to the advisor. If you feel like the advisor is doing a good job and you're having some sort of a confidence in the small section of money that you provided to him or her, then you can provide him the better or bigger opportunity to begin with the thing. So it has to be more of an intuition, to be honest. And if you are having that sort of a comfort and trust with them in the beginning itself, it is not going to create any sort of a problem. You need to understand where they're coming from, what their idea is, what suggestions they're making, how exposed they are to the market, and what they bring on the table for you. And that's how you'll be able to make a person. It's a concept of personal judgment as well. So you need to really connect with the person and see if it really works for you.
Great, Aditi. I think we're dot on time. We're very sorry for the small delay in the beginning. We were just trying to figure out some technical issues, but we've ended exactly on time, and I'm really glad that we were able to understand and understand personal finance. As women, it's very difficult to kind of make that judgment. Although we are supposed to be historically savers. Right. So I think it was a great session, Aditi. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We are continuing to do these finance sessions for the next couple of months. So await for an emailer. We do a session every month. I'm sure Aditi will be back with us. I will assure you that I will get Aditi back in one of the sessions again. A small note before we leave on Pluxee Pro. Shakti, you want to take it ahead?
So if you are facing any challenge with the Pluxee Pro membership, please, I have shared the contact detail of our customer support team, as well as the email ID. You can reach out or you can write to them. Please be rest assured, all your queries will be resolved, and we are here to ensure, and we want all of you to use our Pluxee Pro membership, because these all offers are curated for you. So please do reach out, and we will do our best to help you out with whatever queries, challenges you are facing. That should be all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, women, for joining, and please share your feedback. Thank you, Shruti, for this opportunity once again.
Not a problem at all. It is always lovely to have you, Aditi. Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon for the next session.
Surely. Thank you. Bye, everyone. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
The webinar has ended. Thank you for joining. Goodbye.